I used to think wealth was about timing, being in the right place, knowing the right people, catching the wave before it broke. I'd wake up at 6:30, scroll through market news, check what was trending, what everyone else was chasing. I'd feel this low hum of anxiety in my chest, like I was always one step behind. Like the game was rigged, and I didn't have the manual. My apartment was small. Not terrible, but small. The kind of place where you can hear your neighbor's TV through the wall at night. I'd sit at my desk under that buzzing white light, staring at spreadsheets that all said the same thing: not enough. I was hustling. I was trying. But it felt like running on a treadmill with the speed set just a little too high. And the worst part, I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. Everyone online had a formula. Everyone had a course, a blueprint, a secret. I bought 3 of them, watched the videos at 1.5x speed, took notes, tried to implement, and still nothing clicked. I remember one night, it was late, maybe 2 in the morning. I'd been working on a side project for months, something I thought could finally be the thing. And it flopped. Completely. Not even a quiet failure. Just silence. No traction. No interest. I sat there in the dark. The glow of my laptop, the only light in the room. And I felt this hollow ache in my stomach. Not anger. Not even disappointment. Just emptiness. Like I'd been building a bridge to nowhere. That's when I started noticing something strange. There was this old man who ran a bookstore 2 blocks from my apartment. The kind of place that smelled like dust and leather and time. I'd walk past it almost every day, and I see him in there, always calm, always moving slowly, stacking books, wiping down shelves. One afternoon, I went in. I don't even know why. Maybe I was just tired of staring at screens. He looked up when the door chimed, didn't say anything, just nodded. I wandered through the aisles. There was no order to the place. Fiction mixed with philosophy, business books next to poetry. But somehow, it didn't feel chaotic. It felt intentional. I picked up a book at random. Something old, the cover faded. It was about ancient principles of wealth, things people used to live by before everything became about speed and scale and hacks. I almost put it back. It sounded outdated, irrelevant, but I bought it anyway. That night, I started reading, and something shifted. The first principle was simple. Give, fast, and you will receive. I'd heard that before, 1,000 times. It always sounded like something people said to feel good about themselves. But the book didn't present it like a moral platitude. It presented it like a law, like gravity. The idea was this: wealth doesn't flow to those who hoard. It flows to those who circulate. You give value, attention, service, and the universe reorganizes itself around that generosity. I thought about my life, how tightly I'd been gripping everything. My time, my ideas, my energy. I was so afraid of losing what little I had that I never gave anything away. So I tried something. I started helping people, not in some grand way, just small things. A friend needed advice on a project. I spent 2 hours walking him through it. A colleague was struggling with a pitch. I rewrote it for free. I answered questions online, shared what I knew, stopped calculating return on investment for every interaction. And at first, nothing happened. Weeks went by. I felt stupid, like I was wasting time. But then, quietly, things started coming back. Referrals, opportunities. People remembered, not because I asked them to, but because I'd shown up. The second principle was harder. Rest is not laziness. It is preparation. I'd been running on fumes for years, sleeping 5 hours a night, skipping meals, wearing exhaustion like a badge of honor. I thought that's what it took. But the book said something I'd never considered. A depleted man builds nothing lasting. So I started sleeping 8 hours. I felt guilty at first, like I was falling behind. But my mind got sharper. My decisions got clearer. I stopped making stupid mistakes born from fatigue. I stopped saying yes to things I should have said no to. Rest wasn't weakness. It was strategy. The third principle hit me like a punch. Your word is your wealth. I thought about all the times I'd promised something and didn't follow through. Not out of malice. Just distraction, overcommitment, lack of discipline. But the book made it clear. Every broken promise is a withdrawal from your account of trust. And trust is the currency of everything. I started keeping my word, obsessively. If I said I'd call, I called. If I said I'd deliver, I delivered. Even when it was inconvenient. Even when it cost me. And people noticed. They started trusting me with bigger things, better things. The fourth principle was steward what you have, and more will come. I looked around my apartment. It was a mess. Dishes piled up. Papers everywhere. I treated my space like a waiting room, temporary, unimportant. But the book said, How you treat the small things determines what you're trusted with. So I cleaned. I organized. I took care of my clothes, my space, my tools. I stopped treating everything like it was disposable. And something psychological happened. When I walked into a clean room, I felt capable, like someone who had their life together. That feeling bled into my work, my conversations, my decisions. The fifth principle was detach from the outcome, but commit to the process. This one broke me open. I'd been so obsessed with results that I couldn't enjoy the work. Every day was just a measurement. Did I win? Did I lose? Am I closer? Am I further? But the book said, surrender the result, master the action. So I stopped checking, stopped refreshing, stopped asking, is it working yet? I just did the work, showed up, put in the hours, trusted that if I built something good, the result would take care of itself. And for the first time in years, I felt free, not because I was succeeding, but because I was no longer enslaved to the scoreboard. The sixth principle was the strangest. Silence sharpens vision. I was always consuming podcasts, videos, articles, other people's opinions flooding my brain every waking minute. The book said, in noise, you echo others. In silence, you hear yourself. So I stopped. For 1 hour every morning, I sat in silence. No phone, no music, just me and my thoughts. At first, it was unbearable. My mind raced. I felt anxious, bored, but slowly, something emerged. Clarity, ideas that were mine, not borrowed, not reactive, just true. I started making decisions faster, with more confidence, because I knew what I actually wanted. The seventh principle was the one I resisted the most. Build slowly, or build twice. I'd always been in a hurry. Shortcuts, quick wins, fast results. But the book said, what is built quickly crumbles quickly. What is built with patience lasts generations. So I stopped rushing. I focused on depth, not speed. Quality, not quantity. I stopped launching half-finished things. Stopped pivoting every time something didn't work immediately. I committed. I stayed. I refined. And slowly, agonizingly slowly, things started to compound. A year later, I was sitting in a different apartment. Bigger windows, quieter walls. I wasn't rich, not by any flashy standard, but I had something I didn't have before. Stability, respect, options. People called me. Opportunities came without chasing. Money flowed, not in floods, but in steady streams. And the strangest part, I wasn't anxious anymore. I still woke up early, but not out of panic, out of peace, because I'd learned something those ancient principles had been whispering the whole time. Fortune doesn't reward the loudest. It rewards the faithful. Not faith in luck, faith in principle, in process, in the slow, invisible work that no one sees until it's undeniable. I don't know where you are right now. Maybe you're where I was, grinding, hustling, feeling like it's never enough. But I'll tell you what I wish someone had told me. The principles haven't changed. We just forgot them. Give first. Rest deeply. Keep your word. Steward the small. Detach from outcomes. Sit in silence. Build slowly. They sound simple, maybe even boring, but they work. Not because they're magic, but because they're true. And the truth, when you finally live it, doesn't just build wealth. It builds you.